Amen. Amen. We're Habakkuk chapter 2. We're going to start a series on the annual theme as we normally do every year. And we're asking that you would consider for your hearing Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1 through 4. And say amen when you found our text for today. Amen. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1 through 4. And I'm going to begin this four-part series on our annual theme. And our annual theme is basically what we intend to focus on for the entire year. And we hope that you will receive some divine godly instruction concerning what God has for us in this year. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1 through 4. Say amen when you found it. Amen. And it reads like this: I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come, it will not tarry. Before his soul, which is lifted up, is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith. Verse 2 says, write the vision that they may run that read it. Write the vision that they may run that read it. Look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, have you had your eye exam? Some of us can't see right now. And old folk will tell you, just keep a living. You'll fool around and can't see either. You got to have some help, Pop. Got to have some help. Amen. This year, God has, in case you haven't noticed it by the many bulletins passed out and the pictures on the walls and the annual theme, in case you haven't noticed, this year is all about vision. Vision. And the question is, what is vision? The English defined definition of the word vision is simply the ability to see. One's ability to see. The biblical definition of the word vision is a word of revelation. And conceptually, what we are to understand about the word vision is that it basically means to see what God is saying. That's what vision is. It means simply, conceptually, it means to see what God is saying. And there's nothing more frustrating when you saying and people don't see what you're saying. There's nothing more frustrating than when you're trying to convey a thought and communicate an expression and people don't seem to see what you're saying. When they give back to you what they understood about what you said. It's frustrating when you say, how did you get that out of what I said? I'm telling you it's a pretty day outside and you talking about what's that supposed to mean? Wait a minute, I just said it's a pretty day. You ever met folk like that? We call them folk with a bad understanding. Folk that don't ever seem to see what you're saying. Oh, I'm talking to some husband right now. You done broke things down the simplest way you can to your wife, and she just don't seem to. Look at how y'all brothers look at it. See what you're saying. I'm talking to some sister right now. All she said to her spouse was, baby, I just need you to do this. And he got a whole laundry list of complaints out of that one statement. And you just like, I just want you to see what I'm saying. And some of us will go and solicit a third party. Do you see what I'm saying? It's frustrating when people don't seem to see. And that's what vision really is. And we're frustrated when folk don't seem to see what we say. I wonder if God gets angry when he's saying some things and what we walk away with is completely different than what he said. When God is trying to speak to you concerning a thing and you don't seem to see what he's saying, I wonder how angry God gets. God has an individual vision on every church that he erects. Emphasis on every church that he erects. Because every church that's open in God's name ain't necessarily been opened by God. Preach, Pastor J. I'm trying as hard as I can. You know, we live in a day and time now where everybody wants a pastor. You know, we got a church. We got 9 churches on every corner because somebody don't want to be up under somebody. So you all of a sudden now you want a pastor. So, but that's a whole different thing now. But those churches that God has erected, God has a vision for that church that is not like any other church. God's vision for a church gives that church identity. It gives it purpose and a sense of worth. And that vision is that church's unique contribution to the kingdom. The vision God places on a church is the identity, and that's the specific church's responsibility. It's that church's contribution to the kingdom agenda, to heaven. And failure to see God's vision for your church can result in being a carbon copy of his vision for somebody else's church. I'm going to say that one more time. Failure to see God's vision for your church can easily result in you becoming a carbon copy of God's vision for somebody else's church. So what we end up doing is we try to compete and compare to our sister churches and neighboring churches because we don't know the vision God set for this house. So we try to do what's working at somebody else's house. You know, and I can put over right there and make that personal because some folks will try to do what you do, but they don't know what you did to do what you do. Come on. Oh, they see what you drive and they see how you dress and they see that y'all got 30-some years of marriage, but they don't know it was hell to get where y'all at. And they look at what you got and they think it's easy to achieve what you achieve. So they think, oh, I want to do what you do. Well, baby, you got to make sure you're willing to pay what I pay.
I know you're right. I know you're right.
You know, some folks can look at your, brothers, some folks can look at your wife and they like, man, I wish I had a wife like that. The whole time you talking about, man, you all right.
I know now. Tell the truth.
And it's women in here right now married to some exceptionally great men, and some women talking about, you just don't know. I wish I had your husband, a husband like yours. You like, child, please. They're looking at your kids and they like, oh my God, you got an exceptional daughters, and except you like, you don't even know the half. Oh, she's so cute, but she worrisome. And so the point I'm trying to make is that we got to understand the vision God has for this house, for this church. And this begs the question, well, Pastor, what is God's vision and purpose for our church? Right. I said, well, Lord, you cannot get me up in front of all these people to tell them there's a vision. You got a vision for every church, and now tell me what is your purpose and vision for our church? And I said, so you're going to have to give it to me. He said, what's the name of your church? I said, it's Bethlehem. He said, your name is, the name I gave you embodies the very vision of who you are. Your church is a birthing place. Bethlehem is a place that gives birth to churches. Ooh, God. We give birth to preachers. We give birth to ministries. Bethlehem is a birthing church. The vision God had for this house is that we are the standard by which churches seem to align with. Stop complaining that they're copying off of us. That's what God called us to be, is a birthing place. We give birth to new ideas, birth to new concepts. Do you not know there are 2 churches in this city that wouldn't even exist without this one? I ain't being messy. I'm just giving you the vision God placed on this house. There's a reason we do things first. Because God designed us to be a birthing place. Bethlehem in the Bible was a birthing place. It gave birth to the Savior of the world. That's the vision God placed on this house, is that we are a birthing place. And if man lives by bread alone, no. If man lives by every word that proceeds from the mouth of God, then it is imperative that we see what God is saying.
Come on.
I'm going to say that again. If man can only survive by what comes out of God's mouth, then we better see what he's saying. Amen. Because if you don't see what he's saying, you can't live by what he's saying. How well do you see? So if I got to see it, to understand it, then my vision better be right. I better have good vision. I better be able to see. There are many factors that can affect how well you see. One factor is age. You don't believe me? Keep laying down at night and getting up in the morning. And in fact, there's some folk in here right now that will tell you they used to be able to see real good. But when their hair started changing colors, the world started changing colors. So age can affect one's view and sight. But another thing that can affect one's sight or ability to see is position. Meaning that where you sit in relation to the object that you're seeing can determine how you see the object. For example, if you've been at this church for any amount of years, you see the church from where you sit. But coming to see it from back here, it's a whole different view. Whole different view from where I sit. Now, the point I'm trying to make is that position can determine perspective. Because if you are inside this building, you can see things one way. But if you were to take a helicopter ride and go above the building, you see the same building in a different way. Why? Because position determines perspectives. And I think that a lot of us try to force our perspectives on people that are in a different position. Let me make that plain for you. See, as the pastor, it is my job to see the whole church. But see, many people can serve in ministry. They only want me to see the church through the lens of their ministry. But the church is bigger than your ministry and your opinion and your idea. Some folks, do you not understand? There are some folks, we can't even get work done because the whole ministry is held up by what you think. How you see it. And so position can affect it, but eye quality can affect sight too. Meaning, if you got astigmatism, like I have a astigmatism in my right eye. I don't really know what all that means, but I was told I got it. And, yeah. Yeah, well, I can't see up close. That's what it is, something like that. So, and then when you got bad quality, yeah. It's off, but it ain't right. That's what we know. And what we know about eyesight is that when you have, if you have bad eyes, then you can't understand what you're looking at. Versus someone sitting next to you who has a better set of eyes can see what they're looking at. We trying to give our opinion knowing we got bad sight.
Amen.
Mm-hmm. And if you know you can't see that well, then you might want to be quiet about how you see it. And lean on those who can see what you can't see. When those that have bad eyes, they have corrective lenses and corrective surgery and contacts and all those things that can serve to correct one's vision. And I believe that if we're all going to see the same thing, that we need to make sure that if you got bad eyes, you need to get your vision checked. Amen. So you can see what we all trying to see. Our theme scripture invites our attention and our thinking to the book of Habakuk. Habakkuk the Bible does not give us a lot of info on Habakkuk other than the fact that he's a prophet. And in his short-term book, he wants us to focus on the word as opposed to the author. There's a lot of minor prophets in the Bible. We don't have a lot of information on them. But the reason why is because the author wants us to get what they're saying, no matter who says it. There's revelation in the absence of information. And so although the book is written to Judah, there was a word here for all of us. In chapter 1, Habakkuk files a list of complaints to God. From verses 1 through 4, he complains to God about how Babylonians have been prospering and have been doing evil against them. And then God answers him in verses 5 through 11. And then he files another complaint, another set of complaints in verse 12 through 17. And then he complains basically about how evil the Babylonians have been, and they seem to have prospered against the people of God. Now, I want you to understand that the enemy can appear to be so successful that it looks like the weapon has formed and prospered. Yeah. So much to where you get frustrated and angry with God because he looks guilty of false advertising. Because it looks like God said he'll bring you through and he will make your enemies your footstool, but they keep winning while you keep losing. And Habakkuk is saying, look now, Lord, you're going to have to do something about these Babylonians. And in chapter 2, Habakkuk is found waiting for God's response. And God's response, it responds not with a weapon. He responds with a vision. He responds with vision. Victory often comes in the form of vision. Because he knew that if you don't see it, you can't do it. If you don't see yourself winning, you will always keep losing. Vision is oftentimes wrapped in the form of victory. And victory is oftentimes wrapped in the form of vision. Do you not know that a lot of us stay in bondage and stay in the situations that we're in because we simply just don't see a way out? If you don't see yourself better, you will never be better. This is the year of vision. And if you don't see your way better, then you might need to get your eyes checked. What's in your way? What's clouding your vision? What's stopping you from seeing what God can do with you? Because too many of us are held captive and held hostage by our own perspective. You are a prisoner of the way you see it. And God can't move in your life because he himself has to compete with your raggedy, defeated opinion.
Come on.
I just don't see it. Which is why you will never be it.
Say that.
If you don't ever see how your marriage gonna work, it ain't gonna ever work. I don't care how many books you read, how many prayer cloths you got. If you don't see it better, it will never get better.
Come on.
If you don't see yourself making more money, you will never make more money. If you don't see yourself healed, you will always be sick. But I got a crazy, sneaky suspicion that I can see things different, and when I see something different, the worst thing, my God, listen to me, the worst thing the devil could have ever let me do is see it. Because he messed up by letting me see myself blessed, see myself highly favored. The devil should have never let me see it. You know why? Because now that I see it, I want it. I'm coming for everything the devil told me I couldn't have. I'm coming for everything the devil told me I couldn't deserve. The devil is a lie and a deceiver too. Some idiot told me, don't even live in the city. Johnson, you got a good church. You'll never have a mega church in Green because it's just not possible in a city like that. He ain't never been to Green. Never set foot in this building. But all of a sudden you got an opinion. And to a certain degree, he's right. Because if nobody here sees us bigger and better, then we will never be bigger and better. But I am just crazy enough to believe because the Holy Ghost let me see it. And now I refuse to believe that he'll let me see something I can't go get. The devil is a lie. If he let me see it, it's evidently because he wants me to have it. Stop telling yourself these lies the enemy told you. You're going to always be single. Ain't nobody going to ever choose you. The devil is a lie. The devil has a way of blocking your vision.
Come on, man, preach.
We find Habakuk sitting in position to hear, and those with good vision, they'll do these things. Those with good vision will do these things. They will get in position. Church say, get in position. I'll say it again, get in position. Look at verse 1. Look at verse 1. Look at Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 1. And I want you to see the position. I want you to see the position that he's in. Look at verse 1. Verse 1 says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower, and I will watch to see what he will say unto me, and what I shall answer unto him. Habakkuk is in the watchtower. The watchtower is, now before I get to that, there are three people that are affected by vision. There is the visionary who gives the vision. And then there's the vision carriers, those who run with the vision. And then there's the beneficiary, those who benefit from the vision. So those are the three people that are involved when God deals with vision. The visionary, that's who God gives the vision to teach it to the people, to communicate it to the people. The people are those that run with the vision. They carry it out. And then there are the benefactors. So let me bring that to Greenville for you. God has given you a pastor. That's your visionary. But it is your job to understand the vision and run with it. Let me pull over right there. It is not my job to grow your church. It is your job to grow your church. My job is to cast the vision. Your job is to carry the vision. And when you carry the vision, benefits from it. The community, the world benefits from that vision. So Habakkuk, but before the vision is cast, the preacher, Habakkuk, is in a position to receive it. He's in the watchtower. But notice he's in a position to receive the vision upon the tower. He's in the watchtower. Now, in the Bible, the watchtower was an elevated surface. It was a tower erected so that the watchmen could sit in it and look over the land. They could see over the land. They could see approaching danger, approaching messengers. They could watch over the entire land, because it's hard to watch over the land when you're down on the ground. But you can see a whole lot more of the land from an elevated place. I want you to understand that if God has your pastor in the watchtower, he ain't got time to come down on the ground and deal with foolishness. Upon the tower, he's in the tower, not on the ground. Can I just be transparent just a little bit, y'all? I get angry when the Lord has said, I need you to take you to another level so I can show you some things I'm trying to do with the church, but I got to come down and settle stupid disagreements amongst grown folks. When I got to come down from the watchtower and deal with folks who crying about what color socks somebody had on. The visionary has to remain in the watchtower so he can get the vision from the one who gave the vision. But I can't do that if I got to keep coming down from the tower and deal with stupidness and foolishness and nonsense and folks' feelings getting hurt. Oh my God, grow up. And that ain't just a word for the church house, but that's a word for your house. Because when God has a head of the house and he's trying to give vision for the house, you ain't got time to keep coming down and dealing with dumb stuff. Some folks just need to grow up. I mean, some of the meetings I end up being called into, I'm like, oh my God, are we serious? We got the whole executive leadership team at the table for this. And I'm telling you, it's dangerous because the visionary can't receive the vision if he's down on the ground dealing with low-level nonsense. You've got to be smarter than that. You've got to be dealing with things. Sometimes we look at your neighbor and say, neighbor, we ain't got time for that. But the pastor, what I learned also is that the pastor, y'all know I'm an equal opportunity preacher now. The pastor can't live any kind of way. You can't live low and then get a high vision. Preach, Pastor J. I'm trying as hard as I can. See, I can't live any kind of way and expect God to speak to me concerning the house. Because the watchtower is not just about elevation so I can hear, but it's also referring to an elevated style of living. You, as a pastor, I can't do what everybody else do. See, y'all know I just throw rocks at y'all. See, I also throwing at me too. See, you can't live any kind of way and do any kind of thing and say any kind of thing with everybody and then expect to still be elevated and folks to still respect you as the pastor. All right? Because it starts with the head. Oh, see, I'm that type of preacher that will shoot y'all and shoot me too. So I'm going to tell that. I was talking about you, but I was also talking about me. See, it takes all of us. The visionary has to be in a position to hear what God is saying. It's elevated so they can see long distance. Bethlehem, I need you. I need you to fight for you. Can I be honest with you? I'm disappointed in you. Because there's this spirit of mediocrity and that'll-do and lackadaisical approach to ministry. We just, we got by. But that don't work if you want first-class ministry. You cannot achieve first-class ministry with mediocre mindsets. And let me be clear with you. I did not come here to help you be average. So if you want to be average, find you an average preacher. Because I'm not average. Oh, you mad now? God called me to be greater, and he called you to be greater. And if you want to be regular, go find you a regular preacher. But I will not sit by and watch us just be all right and average and okay. We are the bread house, and everything we do will be excellent or nothing. There's a reason why we give birth to places and birth to ministry, because we are the standard.
Amen.
Some of us have gotten so bougie because we think, because we used to be this. Bethlehem used to be that. Well, you ain't that no more. So don't tell me nothing about what we used to be. Show me who we are today.
Come on.
Oh, y'all don't like me today?
We love you.
The best position to receive God's word was on the mountain. Moses was on the mountain when he saw it. Jesus was on the mountain when he heard from God. You too must be in a position to hear God's response concerning your life. Listen, when God gets ready to do something in your life, before he does it, he always speaks it. But if you are not in a position to receive the mail, then you can't get it. And so a lot of us, God has sent your word and sent your vision to your address, but you ain't showed up to get it. Baby, you got mail. Go check your mail. And he ain't sending it to where you want to be. He's going to send it to where he sent you. So you got to be in position to receive what God is saying to you. What do I mean by position? You're going to have to be living right. You're going to have to have a prayer life. Be in a position to hear what God is saying. I wonder how many blessings we have forfeited simply because we were absent. So he says, so get in position. Next thing is get it down. Get it down. Look at verse 2. Look at verse 2. Verse 2. Get it down. Get it down. Church say, get it down. Get it down. In verse 2, he says, write the vision, make it plain. Write the vision. What vision? The word of revelation that God gave you. Write the vision, and he said, write it on tables. The tables were tablets that were placed in public view. He said you can write them on these big tablets and put them up on public display. Now watch this. When the vision is given to the visionary, it's still in a spiritual state, but it has to be transferred from the spiritual to the natural. So they go write it on the tables. Because watch this. If it's not transferred to the natural, then it's just an idea. And God only blesses efforts, not ideas. See, a lot of us, all we got is an idea. But we've done nothing with it. What's good of an idea if it's in your head and the people you lead don't understand it? So they wrote it. He said, write it on tables, in big tables, so it's in public view. He says, make it plain. Not just clear in sight, but clear in understanding. You know what really irks me? Is when folk trying to communicate something they don't even understand. You ever had folks like that? They don't even know what they're talking about, but they want to talk about it like they know what they're talking about. They don't even know, but they want to teach you. Because some folk, they like to hear themselves talk. And they want to teach you what they don't know. And usually what ends up happening is everybody walks away confused. But it's got to be clear. If you are in your house and you got goals for this year, you know, many of us at this time of year, we set these New Year's resolutions, and whatever, same thing. And you decided this is what we're going to do in our house this year. Tell it to the people in your house. Sit down and have a conversation. Look, this is what we're doing. If you're a husband, you need to sit down with your family. Hey, this is what we're accomplishing this year. As a family, this is what we're going to do better in these areas this year. Explain the vision to your house. If you're a single mother, sit your children down. Baby, this is what we're going to be focusing on. I want you to do this year and this better this year. Focus. Write the vision. Put it on the refrigerator. Put it in the phones. Put it everywhere so everybody can see it. I went to see my daughter the other day and go into her room, and she's got this poster board on her wall of everything she wants to achieve better this year. And one of the things on her board was she wanted to go through the Bible from top to bottom. And I thought that was just miraculous. And I thought it was great. I said, Johnny, what is this? She said, Daddy, I don't understand the Bible. And she said, so I want to understand it since it's the most important book in the world. Blew me away. Not because my baby wants to read the Bible, but she understood that I don't get it. So I'm going to go this year to try to get it. Just to go. Sit down with your family and write the vision. Make it plain. Not just for church, but your house. Make it plain. Is your vision for your house plain for everybody to get it? But the last thing is this. Get it going. Look at verse 2 and 3. Look at verse 2 and 3. So we got to get in position. We got to get it down. And the last thing is get it going. And the Lord answered me and said, write the vision, make it plain upon the tables, that he may run that readeth it. For the vision is yet for an appointed time. We must run with the vision. Listen, we got a lot of visionaries, but no vision carriers. Everybody got a vision, but don't nobody want to run with it. Whole lot of folks think, I'm going to build a business. It's a great business concept, a great business idea, but you ain't done nothing with it. Everybody got a vision, but don't want to run with it. Now, we got enough watchers. We need some runners, some people that's going to do. Why do you need to run, not walk? Why do you need to run with the vision, not walk? Why? Because it's for an appointed time. It's going to expire. We ain't got time. Judah still had to run while they wait. They may run, really means, and the vision is so visible that even you can read it while you're running. When you drive on the freeway, they have these big old billboards. They write all this stuff on there in big letters because they know the people reading it are traveling at a very fast pace. And when you do that, when you are running, you need to be able to read the vision while you're moving. All right, I wasn't going to do this, but since they done threw it up on the screen anyway. I need give me 3 volunteers. I need a kid and come here, Kayla. Yeah, come here, Kayla. And then I need let me see. Give me a young adult. Yeah, come here, Tasha. You got glasses on. You can see, I think, sometimes anyway. And then now I need somebody. Just give me somebody, an older person that can't see well at all. But we're glad. Oh, that's all y'all? Brother Bailey said, that's everybody. At least you can't see? You can't see? Okay, good. Come here. Come here. Come here. All right. DCW, your glasses prescribed? Let me see them. Let me borrow them. All right, good. Okay. All right. Now, Kayla, put these on. All right. Now, Kayla got on CW glasses. Can you read? You can't? Okay. Read the chart. Now, I want to show y'all about this chart. On the top, there is line 1, which is on the very bottom. That shows you that you got 20/20 vision, basically, right? And if you go up from the bottom, the letters get bigger. If you can read the bottom, you got real good sight, allegedly. I think, right? Okay. All right. So, all right. Okay, Caleb. Now read top to bottom. Okay. All right, stop. Good. Now read it now. Stop. Was it a little difficult? Now, here's the problem. Kayla don't wear glasses. You don't wear glasses, right? Okay, good. She don't wear glasses. But she put on somebody else's glasses. And she was able to read it, but when she was able to go through her own eyes, it affected the way she see it because she kept looking through somebody else's. It affected how she was able to read because she was looking through somebody else's lenses. What works for somebody else don't work for you. And you got to be able to see, no, Pastor, wait a minute, but what if I still can't read it out? You got to run with only the part you can read. These are not her glasses. And you can't run with what everybody else is wearing. Because you'll fool around and build your whole plan around a vision you can't see. And here's the problem. You building a plan around an E when God is showing you an F. All right. And you done built your whole house on what somebody else can see. Right. Thank you, Kate. Okay. Now come here, Tasha. All right. Take your glasses off. Put on these glasses. No. I'll tell you what. Put your glasses back on. All right. Read the chart.
From the top.
Yep.
EFP, TOZ, LPED, PEC, FT, EB, FCZP.
Keep going.
FELO, PZB,
Mm-hmm.
DE. Okay.
Hush, girl. Got it. Okay. Now, take yours off. Put them on.
Okay.
Yeah. Now read.
You want me to start from where I can see?
Yeah.
E.
Good. Thank you. Okay, now watch this. Here's why I got somebody from a different age bracket. Now, usually the younger you are, the better your sight is. Why? Because your eyes are better younger because they don't have as many miles on them. Because when you get, the older you get, your body starts to get worse. Now, we need the older people because even though their vision is skewed, they can see further. They understand the road behind us and therefore understand the road ahead of us. Watch this. But Tasha is in the middle. She's old enough to understand grown folks concepts, but young enough to relate to the fresh bread ministry. Why is this important? Because when she was able to read with her own eyes, she doesn't read with her own eyes. She can read it through her vision. But we are still trying to force her to read the way we see it. Older people make the tragic mistake of wanting the younger people to see the way they see it. We don't see the way you see it. And truth be told, you didn't see it the way we see it when our age. Now, come on, Amy. All right. Read that for me. Oh, good. Stop that right there. What'd you say?
I can read for her.
But you can't read where? Oh, my God. Have a seat. Thank you. That's what I need to know right there. She can read far off, but she can't read up close. Ooh. What you need to understand is this, that there are some people that can see down the road,
All right.
but they can't see right here.
Come on.
Why is that important? I'm going to tell you why that's important. That's important because all of us see different. We don't have to see it the same way. We just got to see the same thing. See, I need your nearsighted, and nearsighted need my farsighted, and we need all of our vision to see the whole picture. Does that make sense?
Nonsense.
We envision a church, let's go, Blue, built on the Bible, a community that finds hope in our service, and a place where all people experience God's love. That's the vision statement of our church. Period. We envision a church built on the Bible, a community that finds hope in our service, and a place where all people experience God's love. That's our vision statement. That's what we want to accomplish. But we need all of you. I need y'all. I need you to decide this year to not just get back in the ministry, not just stay there, but do something bigger. Be greater. Be better. In your house, don't just set goals. Go get them. I don't care what it is. And you know what? You might have to make some people mad to go get it. But guess what? Go get it. Because they're going to do one or two things. They're going to either get right or get out.
Come on. Help out.
Simple and plain. I want everything God has for me. And you ought to want everything God has for you. Father, we thank you so much for giving us vision in our church. We thank you for letting us see it the way you see it. Father, forgive us for being slowful and unconcerned and lazy. I pray now that you would ignite a flame in us that is no longer satisfied with just okay, but wants better. Not because we want bragging rights, but because you deserve better. You deserve our best. And anything less than that is sinful and insulting. Somebody might be here today and they want to rededicate their life to you. Start over with you. Lead them down this aisle to be saved, to join church, to get right, to get baptized. It's time right now to stop thinking about it, but to do it. In Jesus' name, amen. If there's some of you, come on, make your way down the